In your life, there's not a lot of times where you're going through the exact same things as 80 other people on a day-to-day basis, so it's a really special bond you make with your classmates.
I can walk down the street and see somebody I know, and not only do I see those people, they're constantly checking in with me, they're asking the questions about how my studies are going, how my life is going, and really investing their time in me.
And I felt that online through the virtual program with the MBA as well. I really did feel like that the professors were there for us.
I was so grateful to be able to have mentors and faculty members who were so supportive of achieving both my personal and professional goals throughout this program.
The programs challenged me, and maybe I didn't know something, but I had to go find an answer. And I think it was important to realize I'm still learning.
I am fortunate where I get to do research that is both inherently personal and professional. So my work is for parents just like me who are trying their best to raise good and kind humans.
I have taken a lot away from my students who helped me to see what I can do, not only to teach future generations of students, but also how to look at what they're doing as a lens to how I can see what I can do as my own work.
Iowa City is that perfect big city with a small town feel. It's been a very welcoming place to move to and start our life here.
I was able to find community really quickly, and I was able to find the right people who were there to guide me, and so I felt like all fell into place.
I feel like a Hawkeye. I've now spent 8 years of my training, whether it was in residency or in the MBA program with the University of Iowa. But to really feel connected here as a student has been something I take a lot of pride in as well.
I'd like to thank my family and my wife for always being there for me.
If she had not been there to support me and sort of take care of those family things going on, I don't know that I would have been able to complete the program.
I would like to say thank you to my parents. They have been my rocks, they have been my greatest support, and I just can't say thank you enough for being my biggest cheerleaders throughout these last 8 years.
And also I would like to credit my friends back home. Pakistan is 12 hours ahead, and they would make time for me, listen to all my stories, help me navigate some of the problems that I would face.
My advisors have been wonderful. They're just as a team of awesome scholars.
You all have shaped me in ways that I will carry with me for the rest of my life, and I'm so eternally grateful for that.
My mentors and faculty members who have first shown up as incredibly authentic human beings and second as scientists. I'm so grateful to your modeling your humility and curiosity and desire to make the world a better place.
Graduates and guests, please rise as you are able for the platform procession. Graduates, guests, and platform officials, you may be seated. The candidates for Master of Business Administration degrees from the Henry B. Tippie College of Business have gathered to celebrate commencement. All are here and in their places. These proceedings are hereby called to order. We would like to give special thanks to the University of Iowa Brass Quintet, And also, thank you to Hands Up Communications, who will be interpreting today's proceedings. Now, I would like to introduce our Associate Dean, Erin Nelson.
Good afternoon. Ooh, that was very loud, sorry. My name is Erin Nelson, and I serve as the Associate Dean of Graduate and Professional Programs. On behalf of the Tippie College of Business faculty and staff, I welcome everyone to our Iowa MBA Commencement ceremony. To our graduates, today is a significant milestone. You have balanced demanding careers, family responsibilities, and everything in between while pursuing this degree, and that accomplishment deserves recognition. For those of us like myself who have had the pleasure to teach in this program, we have had a unique window into your lives. We have seen you joining from your work offices, airports, cars, hopefully parked, joining from your home offices, kitchen tables, with children and pets nearby. We've seen you walking on treadmills, eating dinner, and occasionally doing who knows what on another screen. But we know that you have done all of this while remaining committed, engaged, and focused on your learning. We also want to recognize the families, friends, and colleagues who supported you along the way. Their encouragement made your success possible. At Tippie, our MBA program prepares leaders to thrive in a changing world by combining strong fundamentals with modern, flexible curriculum. Today, more than 1,400 working professionals from 45 states are in this program. This afternoon, we celebrate the approximately 200 graduates who've demonstrated the commitment and perseverance required to earn an Iowa MBA. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the members of our platform. Please stand as I read your name. Amy Christoph Brown, Dean and Professor of Management and Entrepreneurship. Kevin Kriegel, Executive Vice President and Provost at the University of Iowa. John Michelson, co-founder and managing partner of Midwest Growth Partners. Amy McDonald, Assistant Professor of Practice in Accounting. Samuel Brewer, Department Executive Officer and Tippie Rollins Professor in Business Analytics. Julia Garlick, Associate Professor of Instruction in Economics. Heidi DeBevick, Associate Professor of Instruction in Finance. Daniel Newton, Associate Professor of Management and Entrepreneurship. Jason Lee, Associate Professor of Practice in Marketing. I would now like to ask our Dean, Amy Christoph Brown, to say a few words and introduce our commencement speaker.
Thank you, Erin. Welcome, graduates, family, friends, faculty, and staff, to the Tippie College of Business 2026 MBA Commencement Ceremony. Commencement is defined as the beginning of something new, but beginnings only come from something else ending. And today, we gather to celebrate what you have worked diligently to complete. Making the decision to join a high-caliber MBA program as a working professional requires confidence, personal commitment, and sacrifice. Each of you made the decision to begin this journey. You did everything that needed to be done to make progress toward the degree, and today you have reached the finish line. Some of you began this program as a way to move forward in your companies. Others of you did it to completely change your career path. Regardless of how you began, today we celebrate the fact that you set a goal and now you have accomplished it. Many people begin things, but only the truly dedicated complete them. Today, you receive the benefits of persistence and hard work by receiving your MBA from the Henry B. Tippie College of Business at the University of Iowa. In February of 2022, Henry Tippie passed away at the age of 95. Although he is no longer with us physically, his enterprising spirit, his deep sense of gratitude, and his commitment to excellence is alive and well in our college. Henry formalized his business and life philosophy in something he called Tippie's Laws. I want to highlight two of those to you today. Every day is a fresh start, and operate with a sense of urgency. Tomorrow marks a new beginning for you as MBA graduates. You have invested deeply, sacrificed intentionally, and worked toward a goal that matters. You've earned the opportunity to pause and also the responsibility to lead. With every step forward, pursue excellence with purpose and urgency, strengthening business, your community, and your relationships, and creating something meaningful along the way. Henry modeled this for all of us here today, and now it is your turn to carry that example forward and extend its impact. As you conclude your time in the Iowa MBA program, we thank you for being a valuable part of the Tippie community. You helped to make us what we are, and together have created the unique Iowa MBA experience. We hope that you will continue to join us at events, both virtual and in person, through your professional career. The Tippie College of Business will always be a place that you can return to and a partner alongside as you continue your lifelong journey of learning and growth. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to our commencement speaker. John Michelson is a co-founder and the managing partner of Midwest Growth Partners, a $520 million Des Moines, Iowa-based private equity fund. It invests in food and agricultural-related companies across the U.S. Prior to founding Midwest Growth Partners, John worked at large financial institutions and founded and operated 3 small businesses, starting at the age of 14. John received his Bachelor of Business Administration, Master of MBA Administration, and Juris Doctor degrees, all from the University of Iowa. He was an academic All-Big Ten selection and letter winner on the football team and part of Coach Ferentz's first recruiting class. John has served as a city councilman for West Des Moines for 7 years and as a board member for the State of Iowa Historical Society and the Iowa chapter of Young Presidents Organization. He currently serves on the boards of the Small Business Investor Alliance, Adams Spice and Extracts, and Ag Certain. John's wife, Brooke, joining us today, co-founded the Iowa Wave shirt, and John serves as a board member for the nonprofit, which has donated more than $3 million to the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. John and Brooke have 4 sons, also joining us today, Jack, Tucker, Hanson, and Hunter. Please join me in welcoming John Michelson.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. You all look amazing. Everyone hanging in there? Not too hot down there? Okay, it's hot. Okay. Well, I'll try to keep it short for you then. Thank you, Dean Amy Christoph Brown. I want to express my gratitude to her and her staff for this invitation It's an honor for me to represent so many past, current, and future graduates of this program, as well as other commencement speakers that have the privilege of standing here. If you'd been a betting man in the early 2000s, me standing here in 2026 would not have been on your bingo card. In fact, I think I got a C in the dean's management class that I took when she taught classes back then. So because of that, I'd really like to share my thankfulness for this opportunity by reflecting on the program and a few revolutionary ideas that I think will benefit you in your career and in your life. First, the program. Congratulations to you for completing it. It required financial sacrifice, time commitment, and opportunity costs for you and your loved ones. So if you're here as a loved one and made sacrifices for your graduate that's graduating today, I'd like to give you all some love and have you stand up and be recognized by the graduates. So all you people out there, there we go. All right. All right. A few were more excited by that than others, but that's okay. So as you can see, countless people, parents, partners, kids, the administration, coaches, siblings, bosses, professors have made today possible. And so if you haven't already, you should tell them thank you. I'd like to thank my family. My parents are here, Brooke, my wife, and my sons, Jack, Tucker, Hanson, and Hunter. In return for this shared sacrifice, you graduates have gained hard skills and soft skills, a network of friends and alumni, and some fancy letters that you can put behind your name from a prestigious institution. No one will ever be able to take that away from you, and people you encounter who understand that will hold you in high regard. But now it's time to turn the page. As my late defensive coordinator at the University of Iowa, Norm Parker, told us when we were freshmen, recruiting is over. The pageantry is over. It's time to get to work. This degree has given you a platform, and it is your turn to get to work and do great things with it. You owe that to your supporters and to yourself. Now, the revolutionary tips that I think will be impactful for you professionally and personally. The first one is that there's only 24 hours in a day. I know that's pretty revolutionary, but it's true. You can look it up. That's 1,440 minutes. If you get 6 or 7 hours of sleep a night, which you should, get an hour of exercise a day, which you should, shower and eat and use the restroom at regular intervals, which you really should, that leaves approximately 14 hours in the day, or 840 minutes. That is precious time. That is your most valuable asset. That's also Jeff Bezos' most valuable asset. Your entire professional calling, love life, parenting, spiritual, family, entertainment, hobbies, social, charitable, civic, all that must fall within this bucket. So I'm shocked, just absolutely shocked, when smart, driven people take some of those 840 minutes and waste it. Live in areas with long commutes, do mindless habits such as too much TV or doom scrolling on their phones, worry about online comments or get offended or get triggered, being experts on useless subjects like fantasy football or political dramas or youth sports. Don't do that. Use those 840 minutes for good. Advance in your career. Coach your kids. Run for local office. Learn an instrument. Do a high rocks race. Because you will blink and be old, like me, and the cumulative impact of what you do or don't do with those minutes will compound over time. The second revolutionary tip is to read a physical newspaper cover to cover each day. I should have brought a visual aid so you'd know what I'm actually talking about. But I'm actually going to double down and say you should read several physical newspapers a day. Read a national paper like the Journal or the New York Times or the Post, and then read your local paper. I get it, this is a weird idea, and I'm a dinosaur, but hear me out. Pattern recognition is a skill that you don't really learn in school or in a book. It is developed over time via experience. History has a habit of repeating itself, and if you develop pattern recognition over a period of 5, 10, 20, 50 years, you will be wise when making decisions and an asset to your organization and your family. You will also be an interesting person in your professional, romantic, and social circles. Being able to articulate on a wide range of subjects inspires confidence more so than your epic fantasy football trade. So why a hard copy? Digital's great, it's certainly convenient when you travel, but hard copy provides context. Did the editor put the story above or below the fold? Is it in the opinion section or the news section? It's much harder to get that context digitally. Hard copy also eliminates bias. I don't mean media bias, but I mean algorithm bias. Whatever news you consume on your phone is likely to get amplified with ads and feeds and stuff like that. That won't happen with hard copy. Finally, hard copy makes you present. It isn't convenient to hold a physical newspaper. Most of the time you have to sit down, find somewhere flat to put it, and then devote your eyes and brains to reading the words. None of that's necessary with digital content, so I'd argue that you actually ingest more information if you do the physical paper. It's a small habit, but I promise you, over a lifespan of 5, 10, 30 years, it's a massive advantage for you. The final tip is the least revolutionary, but will probably be the most controversial. If you want to be amongst the top in your professional field or vocational calling, I want you to forget about and stop talking about life balance or quality of life. This is contrary to what society and academia has been telling us for the last 25 years. The truth is excellence takes time, and it takes sacrifice. 10,000 hours according to Malcolm Gladwell. Pick whatever metric you want to pick, but the bottom line is if you want to have a chance to have a high level of achievement, you need to be willing to do what others are not willing to do, and then do it again and again and again and again for a period of years. The context you create and the hours you put in are things that will never be able to be taken away from you. If you're worried about quality of life and balance and pursuing other passions, that's commendable, it's probably even healthy, but that's not the extreme measures that will get the extreme results. So I'd encourage you that if you want to be in the top of your field eventually, you should be prepared to dedicate more of those 840 minutes of your time to your professional craft, which will enable you freedom to use those minutes for other things later in life. So here's what I'd leave you with. You've earned something very valuable today, but what matters now is what you do with it. Use your time well, develop judgment, and be willing to do the hard things when it matters. Because the people who build meaningful careers and meaningful lives aren't the ones who had the perfect plan. They're the ones who showed up consistently and made the most of the time they have. Congratulations, and now get to work.
I'm a little bit further down here. Candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration, please rise as you are able. Provost Kregel, these candidates, having completed all of the requirements for the degree Master of Business Administration, are recommended to you by the faculty of the Henry B. Tippie College of Business for the conferring of this degree.
Good afternoon and welcome. On recommendation of the faculty of the Henry B. Tippie College of Business and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer on each of you the degree Master of Business Administration as qualified and designated. You are now officially alumni of the Tippie College of Business and the University of Iowa. Congratulations.
Thank you, Provost Kregel. Graduates, you may be seated. It is now our pleasure to recognize the Henry B. Tippie College of Business MBA class of 2026. Chelsea Hillman, Managing Director of Professional Programs, will introduce the graduates individually.
As our graduates are introduced, you will notice that some are wearing gold cords. These cords identify those graduates whose high level of academic achievement in the Iowa MBA program has earned them the designation of graduating with distinction. Since this is a time for celebration, your applause and positive cheers are encouraged as each graduate is recognized. Graduates will be invited to the stage in the order of which they are seated. Kelsey Argenbright. Robert Todd Bryant. Craig Eric Bagden. Debbie Aschenbrenner. Matthew Aschenbrenner. Hannah Baki. Daria Bowen. Andre Crespo. Brandon Marcellus Shason. Eric Benjamin Christensen. Betsy Bargloff. Justin Arbaugh. Melissa Bach. Michael T. Anson, Jr. Zach DeRue. Gaith Albarati. Daniel Clausen. Justin Bringman. Daniel Lee Clark. Trent Brown. Alexandra Zenobia Bagnole. Kelly Ann Blend. Shaylee Marie Brown. Cameron Michael Elias. Sarah Cooper. Nicholas Donato. Kyle Carlson. Terry Dibburn. Madgi Wadbi Abadamalak. Michael Birch. Colton Kaufman. Stephanie Dietz. Savannah Douglas Bieber. Zachary Davis Job Cooper. Neaton Chawala. Renz Marianne Bryant. Angie Nguyen. Carrie Lee Lashman. Derek Gray. Jeffrey Hamilton. Rachel Carolyn Fuller. Stephen David Fisher. Thomas Scott Loving. Nick Lester. Quesadia Limbrick. Joshua Michael Gulick. Laura Esther Goddard. Rebecca Lynn Hager. Ella McGowan. Carly Catherine Hahn. Wyatt Andrew Jameson. Natalie Filipski. Rodrigo Garcia. Lauren Houston. Jeremy Alexander Frederick. Jacob Harks. Joshua Raphael Holly. Victoria Jessica Feener. Olivia Flamey. Brian Gregory Kraus. Caitlin Hennigan. Rihanna Johnson. Margaret Elizabeth Finn. Justine Noelle Fleschner. Paige Jordan Fengmeyer. Kira Lindenbaum. Jordan P. Kramer. Benjamin Lagore. Varun Korolata. Nathan Alexander Goodwin. David Elliott Frieden. Justin Hernan. Michael Lazansky. Ian Howell. Haley Cruckton. Grady Huganen. Carter Lang. Sitanshu Kumar. Manju Jayadevanapa. Josh Jarnigan. Jacob Henry. Jacob John Lynch. Sanya Karak. Kara Lodge. Justin Michael Keel. JC Glisson. Rasha Sadi Lockwood. Jacob Samuel Jordabrick. Dakota Lang. Eric Michael Latner. Alfonso Otavia Lambert. Denny Kramer. Heather Reimers. Julie Gavarlovis. Sarah Fashing. Bradley Louis Fideli. Olga Sternenthal Perone. Lindsay Molina. Sabi Usman. Nick Polacek. Wandina Narasim. Paul Perry. Benjamin Newman. Matt Malloy. Carlos Patino. Gia Ling Peak. Heidi Marklin. Brian Privet. Maria Elizabeth Meller. Janelle Cameron McFarland. Paige Elizabeth Phillips. Isaiah Patton. Christopher Miller. Olivia Massman. Ashish Matani. Catherine O'Connor. Abshana Mishra. Akash Patel. Stephanie Mora. Jordan McNamara. Akil Nira. Nicholas John Mulholland. Michael Noonan. Jonathan Vitalino Morales. Kyle Martin. Thomas Miller. Cherie Ponada. Ellen Roth. John Marisi. Samuel Cree Murphy. Ryan Oliver. Matthew Thomas Ramey. Tu Twit Win. Carla McKilligan Payton. Laura Lynn Noga. Juan Creets Martin. Ashley Rosendahl. Sakthi Dasan Ramalingam. Avinash Reddy Nalapareddy. Sumit Punt. Sally Jane Wambacher. Nate Toffoli. Megan Wygant. Sarah Titcomb. Aaron Zatorsky. Todd Shigowo Sumidu. Savannah Youngton. William Studeville. Jerry Lynn Sturbans. Jacob Zona. Stephanie Severino. Alexa Zastro. Alamina Schiffer Kovacevic. Dayton Wittenberg. Joshua Shaw. Siddharth Sredir. Mitchell Dean Wilson. Haley Walseth. Capri Waters. Paige Shoneman. Logan Elizabeth Titus. Angelica Witt. Robert Chase Sanders. Brian Taylor. Tracy Elizabeth Zerker Martz. Jack David Wilson. Keaton Shalatter. Mary Short. Jose Luis Sarmiento Escalante. Matt Wade. Spencer Willie. Meredith Willie. Alicia Swanson. Jacob Christopher Tentinger. Jessica Kitty Williams. Fanny Thomas. Logan Smith.
Now that the remaining graduates have returned to their seats, I would also like to take a moment to thank our faculty and our staff for their dedication to supporting these graduates and for their commitment to the Iowa MBA experience. Thank you, faculty. Thank you, staff. Graduates, today marks not only the completion of your degree, but the continuation of your leadership journey. You have demonstrated resilience, discipline, and the ability to lead in complex, changing environments, qualities that will serve you well. And now I am officially pleased to welcome you to the worldwide Tippie and Iowa MBA alumni family. Go Hawks! As you move forward, continue to build on what you have started here. Apply your knowledge, strengthen your connections, and most importantly, support one another. And no matter where your path leads, you will always have a home here in the Hawkeye family. We are proud of your accomplishments, and we look forward to all that you will become. Congratulations, graduates. With the conclusion of today's ceremony, we kindly request that graduates and guests remain seated until the academic platform officials have exited. Once they have departed, graduates may rise, proceed up to the concourse to celebrate with friends and family. Once again, congratulations.